हेलो दोस्तों, आप सभी को नमस्कार एंड वेलकम बैक टू ट्रैवल जेनिक्स व्लॉग्स। तो जैसे कि आप मेरे पीछे देख रहे हैं, आज हम लोग आए हैं द फोक्स और यहाँ पे आज हम राइड लेने वाले हैं विनीपेग वाटरवेज की, जो कि हमें घुमाएगा हिस्टोरिक प्लेसेस रेड रिवर से होते हुए। तो ये बहुत ही इनक्रेडिबल राइड होने वाली है, बोट राइड। तो बने रहिए मेरे साथ इस ब्लॉग में, आपको दिखाता हूँ मैं कुछ ग्लिम्स, हिस्टोरिक ग्लिम्स ऑफ द विनीपेग सिटी एंड डाउनटाउन। तो बने रहिए, बहुत ही अमेजिंग इनक्रेडिबल एक्सपीरियंस ये होने वाला है। आइए चलते हैं, व्यूज़ को एंजॉय करते हैं। स्टे ट्यून्ड, थैंक यू।
So are you all from Winnipeg or anybody from outside? All from Winnipeg?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I just moved recently from BC, so
Okay. Well, welcome.
thank you.
Thank
We
you,
all work
thank
at
you.
the Fairmont as
Okay.
well, except for my Thai's Encore as well. There's a representative here from the steakhouse,
Oh wow, eh?
so we've come out just to.
Cool. All right. Well, enjoy the tour, okay?
Thank
we'll
you.
Start at the Legislative Building on the Assiniboine River. History over there, and then I'll go on the Red River. More history. Finally, back here. So I want you to enjoy the stories, but also look at the wilderness. Okay? There's fish jumping, lots of birds, bald eagles, and the occasional golden eagle. You know what those are, right? They're bigger, right? Much big. Well, not much bigger, but bigger. Okay, here we go, guys. Canada, in case you don't know. It was finished in 1920 and it's made of blocks of limestone. They also call it Tyndall stone because it comes from Tyndall, Manitoba. And then on top, the Golden Boy statue. Well, it is made of bronze covered with 24 karat gold. It's almost pure. I mean, it is pure, but not much of it. And then the same statue, the Golden Boy, it looks north. This direction is north for prosperity. The mining, the fishing, the forest, fur animals, hydroelectric power, and also the port of Churchill. You know Churchill, right? You heard about that. It's a migration route for the polar bears. The other statue I talk about, the grey one on the steps, Louis Riel. Have you ever heard of him before? Oh, yeah. You have? Okay. Louis Riel, Métis leader, also recognized as the first premier of Manitoba. So we became a province of Canada in 1870. And then in 1885, people from Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, including Louis Riel, gathered in a town we called Batoche in Saskatchewan. They wanted to open up a new province called Saskatchewan. It did not exist yet. It was called Rupert's Land. Belonged to the Hudson's Bay Company. Imagine that, right? Anyways, so the federal government of Canada said no, and instead they sent 2,000 soldiers armed with Gatling machine guns. You know what those are? Turn the handle, bullets come out, and also modern cannons. This is 1885. Louis Riel only had 200 soldiers. 3 days later, they ran out of bullets. So Louis Riel gave up. He was hung for treason the same year in Regina, 1885. Louis Riel is buried here. I'll show you that later on. But before we go to the Red River, This is called Assiniboine River. It starts in Saskatchewan, flows east all the way up to Winnipeg. It's about 1,200 kilometers long, 3 meters deep. And we call it Assiniboine because Assiniboine are part of the indigenous Sioux people. And Assiniboine means people who cook with stones. Okay, how did they do that? One of the ways, they'd use the stomach of an animal. Okay, with the stomach, they'd make a leather pouch. And inside the pouch, they would put food, water, and hot rocks, boiling the food inside the stomach liner. It was used as a cooking vessel. And this was done across the world. In old Germany, they call it rock soup. In Ukraine, it's called stone soup. And there are many children's stories called stone soup, right? Over 12 of them, because they're written in all different countries. Now you know a little bit about stone soup. Maybe you can add that to your menu. We'll turn around. We'll go on to the Red River. The only bad thing about stone soup is because by eating like that, the rocks will fall apart. And the rocks would eventually get in your food, and people that ate that way had very badly chipped teeth. Okay, there's more a little detail, but it's interesting. Okay, let's get the look at the bridge here before we go on. The bridge used to open up where that crack is, straight up and down. It's called a counterweight bridge, or a bascule bridge, if you prefer. Excuse me, in the old days, boats used to come here from Fargo, Moorhead in Minnesota and North Dakota. Wow. Anyways, you know where Fargo is, okay? They would go on this river, the Assiniboine, as far as Brandon, Manitoba. So that's a long way. Before we had trains, 80% of our supplies in Winnipeg arrived by boats from the United States. Okay? Completed in 1913. The first day they opened up the bridge, it broke. They closed it and they never fixed it. I wonder why. 2 reasons. By 1913, the steamboats were on the Red River, and then in 1914, the First World War started. We were too busy. Okay. Now we use this bridge as a walking bridge, bicycle bridge, ice skating rink in the winter, and some years we'll make an ice restaurant. Remember that? We'll take big chunks of ice from the river, haul it up there, make an ice restaurant. Everything is ice, including the chairs and the tables. Take a look at that bridge underneath. The gears are brand new. It's 112 years old. There's no wear and tear at all. And you know you can skate on the rivers, right? It's 10 to 25 kilometers of trail. Yeah, I'm gonna go between the boats there and out to the Red River. 1920. Winnipeg was the fastest growing city in all of North America, and in 1920, this land here was worth more than property in downtown New York City. Imagine that. Hard to believe, right? All because of this side of the river. We call it the Exchange District, National Historical Site, and 20 blocks of warehouses where we used to store grain and produce. And we had the commodities exchange going on. And then it moved to Chicago in 1920. Why? One of the reasons. In 1919, we had a general strike in Winnipeg. Everybody quit working. We wanted better wages. We wanted unions. At first, we were all happy, yay, but did not turn out good. The investors were scared. They left for Chicago. Chicago went boom, and Winnipeg went bust. We don't care because we love Winnipeg just the way it is, right? Plus, we have the Jets. Go, Jets, go. Okay, now this bridge, completed in 1913, it used to open up and down like that green bridge. It is a counterweight bridge. Until 19, that's how wide it was not this wide. And then in 1910, we completed a dam and a lock in Lockport, Manitoba. You know where that is? Okay, it's just north of here. We flooded the river 10 meters higher. And then we took our boats and we went north to Lake Winnipeg. Ever hear of that? The 10th biggest lake in the world, you know, Gimli, Grand Beach. And then we went by boats to cut trees, forestry, fishing, hydro projects, and mining. And then the trains came, that was the end. We cannot compete against that, right? Now before they flooded the river, I'll tell you how it used to look. Okay, I'm going to turn it on. This was a beautiful valley before they flooded it. It went down on this side, about 20 meters. You had a small river here, and then it slowly went up to that side. The water you see here is the level of the river 6,000 years ago. This is all artificial, okay, because of the dam. Boats they used were called paddle wheel boats. You know what I mean? There's like a wheel, right? The wheel like this. You know this river? Because of the red clay. It gives it red colors. And also a long time ago there was a war between the Ojibwe and the Sioux peoples. This river turned red with blood because of the battles. Okay? Red River. Nice rainbow there, right? A little rainbow.
Yeah.
Okay. Really good. Over 70 species of fish, catfish, northern pike, walleyes, and the biggest is called sturgeon. You know sturgeon, right? Ancient fish. They killed one in 1903, measuring 5 meters by 200 kilograms. Farmers killed it with pitchforks after a flood. And you can visit the statue is in Dominion City, a small village south of Winnipeg. Okay, can you eat the fish now? Yes, you can. The bottom of the rivers are made of rocks, limestone, and also granite. Then when the rivers freeze over in winter, you can see deep. You can see at least this deep because there's no sediments. Okay, and you can eat the fish. It's just muddy, but they don't taste muddy. And now I want to thank you guys for joining me. Hope that you like the stories I told you this afternoon, early evening. And I wish you all welcome. A great time and tonight and your time out. Okay. And I say this also, if you want to leave a tip for your captain, there is a red tip box. It's always appreciated. I'm sure you guys know that already. And again, have a great day, all of you. Okay.
Thank you so much.
A lot of information for 35 minutes. You can usually do a bit more. When I have a private tour like this, I can add more.